Welcome to episode 245 of No Brains, No Headache podcast. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do it. Back in the studio. I'm your host today, Jordan Weichel, as always. Across from me, my co-host, confidant, longtime friend, fellow comedian. He is of the red-headed variety. Some people call him Ongo. Some people call him applesauce. It's Matt Clary. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. 245 times in a row.
Yeah.
And here we are again.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Can I be honest with you?
Uh-huh.
I am hungover as can be right now. I have what medical doctors call a drinking problem.
So I don't believe you do because it was a holiday.
Dude, oh yeah, you and I went and had beers and it was like a ghost town. I hate those days.
Most bars aren't even open till 4. It's like not everyone is practicing Catholics. If we want to go to a bar at 10:30 in the morning and suck down some high noons, so be it.
Yeah, we couldn't even go to our favorite watering hole. And that really upsets a guy. Instead,
You just go to the place where you have a gift card.
bingo. And the guy in the wheelchair is ordering dry martinis.
At the bar where they can't see him, so he's just screaming over the top of the bar.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? Where's that noise coming from?
I will say that Easter is the worst holiday as an adult.
You and I were in the Catholic school system in our upbringing, and that was cool. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we not get Thursday, Friday, and Monday off? Yep. So just a quick 5-day weekend? That was awesome. I was like, Easter's pretty sweet.
Easter's the best holiday.
Fast forward to the adult years, to real life. I was so confused today. I was like, are you working on Monday? Or what's happening?
So my office was open, but apparently no one else was working because I got to like my shared parking lot and I pulled in this morning and there was not a single other car there.
Got a good parking spot there.
I actually got a lot done today because there wasn't people like interrupting me and stuff. So it was pretty good. But then also like lunch options. Not a lot of
stuff
places
closed today?
Yeah. Well, a lot of places downtown's closed on Mondays to begin with. So
Downtown,
yeah. But last night, so after I get done with Easter, maybe the worst holiday. I'm gonna say this again as an adult. Easter sucks.
I agree.
Did you watch any of Wrestlemania?
I did. Yeah, I didn't even know that it was happening.
So I like flipped on like Netflix and I was going to do my thing where I just look on what to watch for 2 hours and then go to bed without watching anything.
Yeah.
And Wrestlemania, I turned on to maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen was this guy named Joe Hendry.
Okay.
Who's like the opposite of a heel. Everyone loves him. And Randy Orton, RKO guy, is like in his last WrestleMania. So he's out there and he gives an open challenge to anyone that's back in the locker room. I myself have no idea what's going on at this point. And the doors open and this guy's song comes on and it's just a banger. And I'm like, they're just saying his name over and over again. And this guy comes out to 60,000 people just chanting his like own song that he wrote and sang. So he's singing his own song as he's coming out. 60,000 people going nuts. I'm like, this guy's my new favorite wrestler. I don't have one in the first place. But he's going out to meet Randy Orton, who's definitely going to win. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then within 3 minutes, gets RKO'd and pinned. And I'm like, oh.
That was a lot of hype.
Yeah, that was a little anticlimactic. Then they're like, next one coming out's Logan Paul. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, turn it.
I watched it. I'm like, so they gave this guy who was an absolute electric factory. I'll show you his intro after it. It's insane. And the fact that he's singing his own song.
That is a power move.
Of the century. And so then I watched, like, Logan Paul's match was 17 minutes long. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. It's like the one Scottish guy that was like a no-name. He has like a TNA championship, which is like total nonstop. It's like the XFL I learned a lot about wrestling watching these 20 minutes, but
it sounds like it.
Yeah, it was flipping sweet though. Like I went from being so excited to then being like, that was quick. Kind of like me in the sack. And then
Do you premature ejaculate when you crank your hog?
Yeah. And then I had to watch Logan Paul for like 20 minutes, and I was like, this sucks. And then I watched the Detroiters for the 4th time.
Yeah. I just remember in college, we would on USA Network because we had like a full cable
Smackdown.
package. Yeah, is that what it's called on Monday nights? Or is that Monday Night Raw?
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, my roommates and I would sit down and watch it, and we would just find it so entertaining. There's that one guy who like goes into the corner and stands up and he does the yes chant.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 And we're like stoned just watching this. It's like, what's happening? I love this guy.
It's like 6
electric.
college guys that's never watched wrestling before. You're in your yes.
We were, we were going along with it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. The pageantry alone.
Yeah. You know what's one song that I mean, I've heard it before, but I kind of like rediscovered it right now, and it's very electric. Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue. Home Sweet Home. Because I watched Hot Tub Time Machine.
I saw that on my HBO.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck's watching Hot Tub Time Machine, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, and like...
It was like earlier when
Jerry Maguire.
Okay, well, it was like earlier I told you I took a bit of a personal day. You know, I've said it already. Figure it out. Mental Health Day.
Yeah, Mental Health Day.
And I watched like 4 movies. You asked me which ones I watched. I watched Pineapple Express. Slept through the entire movie. And then you remember a while back when I told you I was taking a nap while watching the movie Days of Thunder?
You did it again, didn't you?
I tried to watch Ford versus Ferrari and nap. Wow. I didn't really plan that one through a whole lot.
That's so great.
How do you feel about Matt Damon?
I like him in some stuff. Like
right.
The Martian, I thought was like...
Oh, I love The Martian.
I watched... do you ever get like super inspired after watching movies? I was fully convinced that I was going to apply and get accepted into NASA after watching that movie.
Oh, after I watched Interstellar, I was like, I need to become a pilot.
Yeah, get me in front of a marker board. I'm going to solve some equations. And it's just 2 +
But
6.
Interstellar like fucks me up because you start thinking about like time and relativity and space travel. It's sad as hell.
Oh, yeah. The end of the movie is gross. I still don't get what they're doing. They're like on a planet.
Yeah.
But they're also on like a ship that's somehow a planet. And it
It's like a
warps.
circle.
Yeah.
And they're like the New York Yankees are playing or whatever.
And the best use of their like limited space on the spaceship is a full baseball field.
I guess it's America's pastime.
It's like people are starving, but the Yankees bullpen right now is unreal.
Well, and then his poor daughter is just an old grandma,
126 years old,
and he's just like the same age. It's weird. I mean, you think about that. Why would he leave? What an asshole!
Yeah,
and he's in the bookshelf. He's pushing the books and shit.
Oh, him watching all of the videos of like.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he's just crying.
Oh man. If I ever need a good cry, I watch that scene.
Yeah, not the only one that was crying, but also slightly aroused.
Oh yeah, sadness kind of gets me going a little bit. I love me a good cry.
I love how they just leave that black dude on the spaceship. They're like, "We'll be back in 5 minutes." 23 years later, they're
he's like, "It made no sense to just sleep time away," and it's like got gray hair.
Just riddled in cancer from space. It's like, I don't know what happened up there. It's like, yeah, well.
But I went through a hike right before this, and you know we're approaching. Happy belated 420, by the way.
Yeah,
and
blaze it.
Yeah,
I celebrated by eating a bunch of ham.
Oh, really? I went hot tubbing and smoked a bunch of weed.
Nice.
I don't really smoke anymore, so
nice.
I was fucked up.
That's sick, though, and in a hot tub.
Yeah, it's actually cool when you like stop doing that stuff and then you go back and do it. It's cool, very relaxing. Anyway, we're approaching mid to late April, and I went for a hike before this, and I was on the hike with a friend, showing them some cool trails, and I'm like, yeah, I usually take a break from these trails, you know, like when ticks start coming back, And as I say that, they're like, look at my leg. And there's just 4 ticks on their leg. And I'm like, what? The ticks are already back? So that kind of sucks.
Isn't it usually like June or July?
Yeah. And I immediately felt one on me.
Ooh.
I don't really mind ticks, but it's like not great. It's like, well, I don't want to go for a little hike on these trails, wooded areas, and then just be covered in ticks.
I remember going like camping when I was real young, and it'd be like, well, went back in the woods. It's be like, let me check you for ticks, and it's just pulling one after another.
One time I had one attached to my dong.
I had one, I was going to say right in my cabbage patch north of fucking Mr. Popper and the Penguins.
That's exactly where mine was, too. Yeah. It was in my pubes.
Yeah. Just he was settled in there. Like he had a nice home, was probably going to have kids, and I just shaved my pubes on Tuesday. And
yeah, it's like, you're worried about contracting an STD when you should be worried about Lyme disease.
I had one on in my armpit hair one time.
Yeah, you got a fuzzy on your shirt. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. And then the other day, fun little housekeeping before we really get into the episode. I love this part about our podcast.
Oh, I was going to add another thing on there.
Oh, and go for it. That's what this is for. We're 12 minutes in, and we haven't even started the show.
But once we really get into it, we kind of just blow through all of our topics, and then...
Speaking of blow, my AirPods weren't working the other day. I was like, what the... Like, don't you hate that? Do you have AirPods?
No, I'm afraid I'm going to swallow one.
Okay, well, don't put them in your mouth. That'd be the
No, I feel because I like to... Sometimes I'll sleep with headphones in, and then I'll just fall asleep, and what if my AirPod comes out and I just swallow it? Or like I hit a bump in my car and I have my AirPod in and it flies up right down the hatch. Right down the hatch.
Well, then you could always puke it up or shit it out.
Yeah, but I feel like...
Then you got a pan.
Yeah, it would... Yeah, 1, it would hurt puking it up, and 2, I'm not grabbing anything out of my shit.
You just grab your screen from your window and put it down there when the AirPod pops out.
Oh, one time I drank so much Goldschlager and I was panning my diarrhea the next morning.
Made a few bucks.
Yeah, fucking $80 richer.
But my AirPods weren't working, and like I couldn't figure it out. And I was like working, trying to just get through the day. And I realized that I had them in the wrong ear. And apparently that makes them not work. Like, AirPods are smart enough to know what fucking ear they're in.
See, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, and because I think I put them in my pocket, so I was talking to somebody, then I put them back in, and I didn't, like, check which one was which. And, yeah. So those were in the wrong ears, right? And so similar to, I was on a hike a couple weeks ago with my niece, and it was super muddy. like just a mess, just sloppy, muddy. And we were about 3/4 way through this hike, and I realized that her shoes were on the wrong feet.
Kids have a 50-50 chance of putting their shoes on the right feet, and they never get it right.
Oh, and I was like, hey, your shoes are on the wrong feet. And she's like, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But we were already so muddy, we were at the point of no return. So like, whatever.
Back in the day when I used to sleep at the golf course, if I got super drunk the night before and had to work at like 6 a.m., I would just go to the pro shop and fall asleep in the back office. And I like did that one day, and the next guy that's coming in was like, did you sleep here last night? And I was like, no. Yeah, why? What's up? He's like, well, your shoes are on the wrong feet. And I'm like, oh.
My bad. Well, sometimes you realize what's going on. What else do we have?
The Pope died
Yeah.
today, so that's fresh.
Yeah, I woke up to that news
But if you would have told me, like,
at
if you would have
7:30 this morning,
if you would have asked me what the Pope's name was, I wouldn't have known.
Isn't it Benedict Cumberbatch the 14th?
So that's the one before.
John Paul II.
That's the one before that.
It's Invictus.
It's Francis. You just picked. Isn't that the name of a rugby movie with George Clooney and Matt Damon?
It's not the name of the Pope.
No.
Oh,
It's
what is it?
It's
Francis. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was my other guess.
But they're like, oh, it's so sad. He's 88 years old and died. And it's like, that's pretty fucking old. Yeah. Who could have seen this one coming? I don't know. Quite literally everyone on planet Earth.
I think, the death of the Pope is really interesting because for the funeral procession, it's not even like an open coffin. They just kind of have him on like a magic carpet ride and then parade him around.
Yeah, it's
and it's weird just seeing like a dead guy just kind of getting carried around town.
Have you ever seen a dead body that isn't at a funeral?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I went to Rome back in our high school days for the Rome pilgrimage, they called it. I don't know why. Why is this called a pilgrimage?
You
Anyway.
stole a bunch of stuff and drank till you couldn't see your toes.
Yes, so that's exactly what we did. But there they have certain popes from the past. They have them. I don't know if this like preserved. I guess
It's like vacuum sealed, so like no
yeah,
air
and
or
they
anything.
just have these little like. You feel like you're at a zoo, and there's just like little exhibits with glass, and you can see just dead popes.
It's
It's
weird.
interesting.
It's kind of
Very weird.
Yeah,
I'm not like not weird in like a I'm judging in a bad way. Weird. It's just odd. I guess would be a better word.
yeah. I don't like that. I think that's weird.
I mean, I think it's interesting. It definitely, get your attention, give you some goosebumps, give you the chills a little bit as you're just. What do they do? What do they pump it into these bodies to keep them like? Because they're all like,
I'm
they
sure,
look great.
Okay, I'm sure they're one full of formaldehyde, and two they have like
Just like the cats we dissected in anatomy class in high school.
yeah. I can tell that story later, but
We don't want it now.
yeah. But I did a bunch of formaldehyde and other things so that they don't, and then they have to like vacuum seal them up so that no air can get in.
Yeah, just cut off the oxygen supply. That's probably how they died
Yeah.
too. They can't breathe.
What if they thought he was dead? They just put him in there, and then that's what that's what killed him.
Oh, we're
but
terrible.
seriously, R.I.P. Francis.
Did they do the smoke thing? Like,
No.
Is that a thing still?
No, I think in like 5 days, or it's like 15 or 20 days or something. Then they get all the cardinals together, and they
Start the process.
and they basically just like have like, all right, anyone want to be pope? And then like a couple people raise their hand, and then everyone votes, and they get mad at each other. It's very political.
And then it comes out that they, diddle a bunch of kids at their
but
local church like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's gonna be the background
They
checks
gotta
on
cover
these
that up.
have to be a nightmare.
Oh, I bet they don't even want to do the background. They're like, oh, good. Oh, God. They're probably like, oh, God. Seriously.
Leviticus, you can't be pope. You consulted on the movie Spotlight with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. You made an appearance.
It's tough, but yeah, I watched this like short video of like all the 5 candidates, so you can bet on who's going to be the next pope.
Oh, you put some action on it?
No, but I did make a bet today, but for another time.
But then do they do the smoke when they decide on it? The white smoke?
I think it's white smoke, and then it's either
Like, I'm just
black-
referencing the movie Euro Trip here, where he sneaks into the Vatican, and then they throw shit in the fire. The black smoke comes out, and they're like, oh my God, the Pope died. And then they throw like another thing in there, and then white smoke comes out. They're like, they already picked a new one. And then he like stumbles out to the balcony, and they're like,
Yeah,
people think he's the Pope.
I can't remember because I know we were in like 5th grade when they were doing that thing, and like every day we'd stop and like turn the TV on to see if they picked a new pope.
Yeah, I mean, Pope's dying, and then terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers are great when you're in grade school. You're not going to do a goddamn thing.
Especially if you go to a Catholic grade school.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think they're tuning in at the local public school to see how the Pope selection is coming
Or if
along.
they are, they might be in a little bit of trouble. I was thinking because when we were in 5th grade, I remember we had a priest come in and talk to us about like the Pope, and like, yeah, priests wear purple because it's like the color of kings. And he's like, do you know how they got the color purple? And it's like, it's because they had to go and get it from something that's on the bottom of the sea. What was on the bottom of the sea that they get purple?
Octopus.
Someone in our class, who will remain nameless, said sheep. And then the priest, being the great guy he is, just goes up to the marker board and draws. He's like, here's the ocean. You think they go down, and he like draws a little sheep on the bottom, just trolls this poor
Is this
girl.
in our class?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to get some names after we're off the air. Hate throwing people under
Yeah,
the bus.
I wouldn't want to do it. Avid listener of this show. It was me.
Just embarrassing. What else was I going to say about the Pope? There was something I had right there. Oh, no, I was talking to a teacher, and I was like, oh, you guys get the days off for Easter? They're talking about the extended holiday. They said, yeah, they get like Friday and Monday off. I was like, oh, wow, the public school must really, favoring the Catholic holidays. And then they were like, yeah, but we can't say the Pledge of Allegiance, but we take off the Catholic holidays.
Yeah, it makes... I'm
confused.
Ass backwards.
Remember when you were at the watering hole the other day and there was the table next to us? That lady was talking about the funding of
she
schools.
was going.
Did you catch that conversation? I was going to bring it up, but they were like right there.
She was on her high horse about it.
Wow.
And yeah.
I don't really have an opinion on that. I just thought maybe you heard that. And
my sister texted me on it, and she was like, "Oh, I can't believe that this passed." And all I said back was, "Not a hot button issue for me."
All I said was, "I don't give a shit."
Yeah, it's 1% of our state's budget.
All right, well, there's our housekeeping. Let's get into the episode today. We got 2:45.
Okay, let's party.
Kristi Noem was in the news today.
Well, hello.
Yeah, Homeland Security Secretary gets purse stolen with $3,000 in cash stolen from a restaurant.
Is she a stripper or what's going on here?
So, couple things.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What's that picture? Is she just in a bunch of...
She's out of El Salvador prison.
And a bunch of shirtless dudes are just probably trying to, like, sniff her.
Yeah. Can we put our shirt back on? This picture's getting weird. But yeah, she had her purse stolen, which, one, is an alarming thing for the person that is the number one security person in our country. Second of all,
that's very ironic now that you bring it up.
It's kind of funny too.
I mean, if I came across $3,000,
but she had $3,000 in cash in her purse because she was going to buy Easter presents for her grandchildren.
Somebody doesn't want rewards points with their credit card.
Yeah, have fun paying for all your flights. Sky miles don't come easy nowadays.
Cash, huh? She's one of them. She doesn't want any paper trail.
Which is weird because unless you're buying all of your grandkids cocaine, you don't really need cash.
That'd be a hell of an Easter present. I would love Easter a lot more if that's what we're handing out.
But there was like the fact that she had her passport, her keys, medication, makeup bag. Like, who carries their passport around in their purse?
The director of Homeland Security or whatever. What's her title? Secretary of
Homeland Security Secretary.
Oh, okay. So she just like schedules stuff and takes phone calls.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gets the mail.
if there is any, goes to El Salvador for photo shoots with a bunch of gang members.
Kristi Noem looks like the type of woman that wears a Yankees hat but couldn't name a single player on their team.
That is accurate.
You know how last week you came up with like that mascot game?
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do. If you see a good-looking woman wearing a Yankees hat or LA Dodgers, we'll add that in there. I want you to say to them, and this could be like a little bit of almost like a pickup line, a little icebreaker. You say, "Big Yankees fan, huh?" And they go, 9 times out of 9, they'll say, "No, I just like the hat."
Yeah, I just saw Call Her Daddy wearing it one time, so now I wear it all the time. It's like the dudes with Bass Pro Shop hats.
Oh, my. Do not know how to fish at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I do.
I'm saying I've caught a fish in my life.
I have caught a fish. I'm not a good fisherman. I don't know what I'm doing. If you were to take me out on a boat fishing, I would need probably like a rundown on everything. I'll do a little shore fishing. I'll do a little ice fishing. But if we're going out on a boat in open water, I remember one time I went fishing with one of our buddies and I put the worm on. I put the worm on, went through one side and then kind of jimmied it in there and went through on another side, and he saw my worm and he's like, "Oh my God, give me that." Apparently you're supposed to slide the worm on the hook like a condom. Does that make sense?
So all the way, yeah.
You're supposed to fit it on like a sock.
Yeah, okay.
I just kind of poked it through a few different times.
Yeah, that's good. And you don't even cast, you just throw the hook out. I remember,
You just throw the fishing rod out there.
so I used to go fishing with my Uncle Pete, and we'd go to this one private lake that just had monster fish in it. And it was fish in a barrel because no one else fished it except for like his one friend who let us fish there. And he gives me the rod and he's like, "Hey, I just bought this lure. Do you know how to tie a fishing knot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, totally." Just first cast.
Who the hell are you, man? Isaac fucking Newton?
I just wind up and just sing, and it just keeps going. And he's like, "You owe me $9." And I was like, "Whatever."
Yeah, apparently it turns out it's hard to like tie them too.
I got pretty
work
good at
with
them.
it.
Yeah, I got pretty decent at them. It's just you need to get the one, and then you have that little jig that you can just like unhook and hook on. But
Oh yeah, you do. It's like the
so I had
hook thingy, the hook thingy.
Yeah, I have a tackle box, and I was like, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do some fishing when I go on my vacation. Like this was like 2 years ago. So I bring my fishing rod, and then I get there and I like grab as many beers as I can hold in my fishing rod, and I go down to the dock, and then like I come back in like maybe 2 minutes later, and my dad's like, "Oh, done fishing already?" I'm like, "Forgot all my tackle."
You just brought the box.
I just brought my fishing rod, and I was like, "That should do it." It didn't even have line on it. It was brutal.
Or like you get there because it was this out of state.
Yeah, and well, I went and bought my fishing license. It was like $70
I was just
for the
about
week.
to say like, oh, getting ready to go fishing. Better buy my fishing license, and it's like $300. It's like, okay, it looks like I'm not fishing.
Yeah, it was $70, and then they're like, "Oh, we have you on file from the last time you got one in Wisconsin, like 20 years ago." And it's like Matt Cleary, 5'5", 105 pounds. He's like, "Is that still right?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, it's really, I mean, yeah." But yeah, that's my fishing story. I don't know how we got from Homeland Security to fishing. So
I don't know how we get anywhere.
No,
on
I'm just
this
like,
show.
I don't what we can transition.
I'm just playing random sounds now. This is No Brains, No Headache podcast. And here's the deal. I haven't brought this up in a while, so for those of you new listeners out there, if you're upset, if you feel perhaps less smart than 20 minutes ago when before we started, if you feel offended in any way at all, for any reason whatsoever,
Are you stalling? Can you?
our insurance policy is that's on you for listening to a podcast called No Brains, No Headache. I don't feel that bad.
The best part about that scene is he stops and he's like, "Can you make it like 3 degrees colder in here? I think better when it's colder." For whatever reason.
My middle name's Kurt, not Fart. What did I put? What am I up?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought that we as a podcast, where do we stand on transition lenses?
I'll put it this way. I used to coach golf for about a decade. If any of my players showed up in transition lenses, they were instantly my least favorite.
So we don't like them.
I don't like them. I think people that wear transition lenses are weirdos. Only thing weirder is people that wear glasses 100% of the time, but also like to wear the sunglasses that fit over their glasses.
The little clip-on
They
ones.
look like my grandma when she would get her like eyes dilated and have to wear those.
And I feel like people who wear, transition lenses, they're also wearing jean shorts. And I'm not talking jorts where you kind of cut off a pair of jeans.
Pre-made $15 at Walmart shorts.
Yeah, like they're hemmed on the bottom.
Yep.
They also are wearing high white socks with those, and those like black shoes that have like the Velcro strap. You don't even tie them. Am I describing, like, if you close your eyes right now and you said, okay, I'm picturing somebody with transition lenses. Yeah, they're wearing some sort of like monster truck t-shirt, which is like kind of cool, but they're wearing hemmed jean shorts, $15 rack at Wally World, which I can kind of respect to a certain degree. They have very pale skin, is what I'm envisioning right now.
Yep.
Are you doing this with me? Are your eyes closed, Matt?
Yep.
Okay, great. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Do you see the black shoes? They're kind of like what are those? What does Forrest Gump wear? Or those Nikes? What are they? They kind of got like the little thing in the front, and they look funny.
You're wearing black Velcro shoes.
Yeah. But they're like, they have the Velcro, no laces.
And
on
you're
these.
not being ironic. You literally do not know how to tie your shoes. And Medicare
Just no fucking clue how to tie your shoes.
just never learned. Bottle. It's like tying a fishing line. Yeah, it's the same guy and they always go in and out of places, so their lenses never match. Or when they come inside and they're walking around a Target with transition lenses that are slowly transitioning.
What are they doing in Target? They're not allowed there.
Walmart.
Well, yeah, because right now, it's beautiful weather. Spring is here. It's just nice out, so we're getting a lot more sunny days. So yeah, you're wearing the shades, and now the transition lens community is making themselves well known. I mean, you can just spot them from a mile away.
And I could see these people thinking that having transition lenses saves them money.
And like time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how hard is it? Like, how much time does it take to...
Or they're just so dumb that their eye doctor or the girl that's working at the eye doctor store, who's usually hot, one of the hotter professions.
Yeah, just plowing the optometrist.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, and his wife has no idea about it.
I can see it already.
Yeah, it's pretty much the plot of Good Will Hunting. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
So the guy just gets talked in to buying
Clipper Nation.
Yeah, just gets talked into buying the most expensive thing there because the chick said he had nice eyes. And then he realizes that he has transition lenses. It's a tough world if you think transition lenses are cool.
Yeah, I saw a guy walk into an establishment, and I noticed he had like his glasses case with him. So he like took off his sunglasses and then put on his real glasses, which I could see, being a little bit of a nuisance. But then I said to him, dude, you need to get some transition lenses. Those are sweet. I was totally kidding. And he just was like, yeah, I don't think those are cool. I was like, I was kidding completely.
Yeah.
Like,
if you said yes, I was going to just take you out back and beat the shit out of you.
Okay, so as a podcast, we are
out on transition lenses.
When I first kind of came up with this, I thought just for a minute there, I thought that maybe we were going to try to make them cool.
I think making the pre-bought Walmart jorts cool would be something more obtainable.
Yeah, like when I described, and this person does not have good hygiene at all. Just
smells
hair.
like shit, has a big neck beard, and then has all the hair on the back of their neck too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're describing me if I don't upkeep this, you think it's easy looking this good? It's not. If I don't upkeep this every couple of days, I'm what you just described. That's me. Even right now, I got a little bit going. I think I'm going to shave my head this summer.
I was thinking about doing the same thing.
I also, this is bold as shit. I don't know why I'm telling this.
Mohawk?
No.
Oh.
I was going to dye my hair blonde. I don't know. I'm going to be at the lake cabin, so I'm going to socialize once a week at open mic night. Other than that, I'll probably just be there.
Joe Hendry had
who's that?
The guy from WrestleMania dyed his hair blonde. He looked cool.
I don't think I would look good at all.
It's good. You could always try it and then just shave your head.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If I shave my head and then it grows a little bit, dye it blondes, just see how it looks. Like PCA is kind of the inspiration right now.
Yeah, and like
Joe Burrow.
With him,
am I as good looking as those guys? No, I'm butt ugly compared to those guys. But it's worth a try.
Yeah, but they also play a professional sport. So if I
true.
played a professional sport, I'd be swimming in poon.
Regardless of what color your hair was. You ever think about dyeing your hair?
No.
If you had to, what color would you do?
Redheaded
Red.
people
Can you dye? Their hair won't go?
No, it will, but it's just like an unspoken rule that redheaded people just don't dye their hair.
Can we do it to you this summer?
I really don't care enough to say no, so sure. When I was like 12, I had a mohawk for a couple weeks. It was a real point of contention between my mom and dad. And then I dyed that blue.
Oh,
and
wow.
it looked horrible.
I was about to say. Wow.
It's a tough look.
It's like the New York, you probably look like the New York Giants when they tried out those like alternate helmets and uniforms.
I looked like the Little Giants.
Giants, help us, God.
I love when they're like 2nd and 9, and all the parents are like, "We gained a yard."
Oh, I love that. All right, let's keep it moving here on episode 245.
You've seen the FyreFest news.
Is the news just that he's trying to do it again? And
He's trying to do it again,
well?
and it's going about as well as you thought it would.
Let's look this up, actually. You keep going.
So it's postponed now, but in like the past couple months, he's like, I think it's Playa del Carmen or something. The Daily Mail one has a lot of good info. He like posted all this paperwork and he's like, we're on board with the city. And then it was clearly falsified because even like the city's Twitter account like came out and they're like, we don't do any of this.
So Billy McFarland is out of jail? Oh,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
He got out of jail and immediately announced
He was
FyreFest
released
2.
from prison in 2022.
Yep.
So and then I just need a reminder. He was thrown in jail because of the fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it says here he pleaded guilty to fraud charges after the disastrous festival.
And he has to pay back like $26 million.
Isn't this the same guy who like made a credit card company?
Yeah.
And it was just like, wasn't it just like a thick, heavy card that like they just like...
It was essentially just a thick, heavy card, and then you got access to go to like all these cool things, and it was like a townhouse in Queens that like people just used to have orgies in, and it immediately became shitty.
Might have to sign up.
You probably get it pretty cheap, but yeah, it was called. And then he has like weird names for everything. It's like Ephus and Tranquility and so the first FyreFest had Blink-182 performing at it before they backed out. So he really doubled down, and for FyreFest 2 booked Blink-182, which is a Blink-182 tribute band.
That's funny.
And
oh, there they are.
yeah, real cool. But yeah, he had like all these things booked. He looks like a total wiener too.
Yeah, like when he in the documentary, because wasn't there's the Netflix one and then a Hulu one?
Yeah, the Hulu one he was actually in, but I
Okay.
thought the Netflix one was better.
I agree, but yeah, even just hearing him talk, and you just don't get a good vibe with the guy.
Yeah, so he basically came out and said, I have all these papers. And then the city said, fuck you, none of that's real. And then...
Why would anybody work for this guy? Like, oh, what's this?
that he had like all these hot models back in the day, like posting, like he paid them like hundreds of thousands of dollars just to post like an orange thing on their Instagram.
Oh yeah, that thing. In the fine print, it just says they have to bang him too.
Yeah.
So it's just, is this it? Is it this orange thing?
Yeah, that was like
This is a long article. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But basically he said that he had all these villas and stuff linked. There was a ticket for $1.4 million. Turns out no one bought that. And then someone went on the back end of his website and could see how many tickets were actually sold for FyreFest 2. And there was like 78.
Okay, here's what I was. Ticket sales. Starting it with 1,100 to 25 grand. Jesus Christ. If I'm paying 25 grand for a concert, I better just be able to walk on stage whenever I want and sing along with him.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But then, like some of my favorite parties, like, well, we're having a press conference down in Mexico, and their press conference was essentially him and two Mexican guys.
He's like, I don't know a lick of Spanish. So
And they didn't look like they worked for him at all. We're sitting at like a Fuddruckers, just talking for like 35 minutes. He's like, yeah, this is what we're doing with the city. And then like, he was like, we got media here. And then someone took a picture of like the media, and it was like two guys that like, I'm pretty sure was just eating at the restaurant.
Matt, if you think about it, you and I kind of experienced a FyreFest.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into specifics, but let's just say it's a country music festival in North Dakota. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say names, so that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but FyreFest 2 not happening. Couldn't see that one coming.
Remember when we were at our FyreFest and we didn't know that food was provided, so we were just eating from the vendors, and we got chicken sandwiches from that one food truck, and we asked our buddy Joe if he wanted one, so he said, yeah, I'll be right back. So you're like, oh, I'll buy this. $54.
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous.
Oh, man. There's a place in town that has a spicy crispy chicken sandwich.
Dude, I'm getting that. No, I probably shouldn't.
You want to go after this?
I will, honestly, if you want to.
I'll think about it. I definitely could use it. It's so delicious. But, dude, then the next morning after I had it, I had the worst stomach pain.
Oh, freaking.
It was one of those where I had a few stops to make for work, and I was in like way West Mandan and driving up to North Bismarck. It was one of those where I ran into the bathroom.
I've been there.
Like, people are like trying to say hi to me, and I'm like, fuck off. I'll be in the bathroom for a while.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I will still consider it. Are you done with FyreFest 2? All right. Here on episode 245, let's see if I can pull this up. I saved it. So I don't know if you've seen this. It's a viral video. Let's see here. Okay. I'll just read the tweet. Man saves a small dog from a violent German Shepherd by repeatedly sticking his finger up the dog's butthole. Have you seen this? Okay. So this dog has a stranglehold on this small dog. And people are freaking. There's like 5-6 people. This is hard to watch, isn't it? Have you seen this?
Yeah. What if he like just got done doing that and then it was just like
Gave himself a shitler.
Yeah, that's really weird. And what is your algorithm like that comes up?
Well, that was on Twitter, so it's just
yeah.
like they just show you like all sorts of random stuff. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, I have got to bring this up.
That guy had zero hesitation about.
Oh,
what
he just
was gonna
went
do.
straight in. It was like, did I say 2 fingers? Let's make it 3. He just went right in there. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your hands after that? That's weird as hell.
Yeah, and the fact that someone filmed it.
Well, I think they were filming because, like, the first time I did see that video, because it went pretty viral for a while.
Well, both those dogs are probably dead. One from euthanasia.
The other one that
just
made him
dead.
put him down.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I saw that video, it said the caption was just, "You will not believe what happens 19 seconds in." So I was watching it, but I had like the PTSD where I thought for sure that the Exorcist chick was just gonna pop up on screen and like scare you. One of those.
I always get caught with one of those where they're like, a baseball gets hit and the foul tips it into the camera, and then I always drop my phone.
Yeah, you jump a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, so I saw that and I was just like, what the hell is going on? But then I thought of it. You know, put yourself in that scenario. I'll probably stop whatever I'm doing if somebody just sticks their finger in my ass.
I'd probably do that thing even harder. Given the case, depending if I had poppers before that.
Like, whoa! What's going on back there?
You hopping in here? I mean, it wouldn't be my first thing. Like maybe throw a bucket of water on the dog, or.
But and I also thought of that too. Is like if I saw that, or if you see other videos where like people need to like like step in and help. Personally, I'm probably gonna avoid those situations. Like that would suck to see, and it's like, okay, that's unfortunate, but like I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, it was like I was following these guys on motorcycles that seemed that they were like really drunk and like weaving all over the place.
Oh, they do that, yeah.
And I was like, and I just like went a different route. I was like, I don't want to see them just because they were getting on the interstate.
They're doing
like,
the weave.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not gonna end well. So actually, this is funny motorcycle story for you. So this week there was a protest at the Capitol, and
what were they protesting?
I think like some spending or something. Doesn't matter. So some guys, they're like, we're going to be cool. There's like a couple thousand people there. So these guys go by on their motorcycles and they're like, we're going to be cool and do wheelies. One guy crashed his bike and then was right in front of the protest. And like his bike was just completely mangled and had to like wait for like cops to come and like give him a ticket for
being a douchebag.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's called.
We'll see if the cops rolled up and then stuck their finger in his ass. But before the wheeling, he probably would have stopped wheeling if he had a finger in his ass, which I think is the logic here.
But if I want to see a cop that can get into that situation, like he's coming by, he's like, are his pants even a little bit low?
You just got to go down the back door there. Put your gloves on.
Other police officers are like grabbing weapons and shields. He's just putting a glove on his hand.
I mean, Matt and I went to school with a guy who invented what we call the shitler. Now, if you're not familiar, I mean, just think about what the name is, just a little schmutz on the lip. But I was on a football bus one time, and this particular gentleman, he wasn't very nice. He was also pretty fucking stupid. I'm just going to be honest with you. He's picking on this poor guy. And see, it was one of those situations where, like, I'm not getting involved. I was kind of laughing pretty hard, too. But he puts his finger down up his butthole and then wipes the little bit of schmutz. This is after a football game, okay? We're talking sweaty. And he wipes it on the kid's lip. And that was when we were first introduced to the shitler. And honestly, I think that's when I peaked. Like, I was like, okay, I'll never have a moment this cool again.
We also had that bus in high school that was like an old prison bus that just didn't have seats in the back of it because that's where it used to have like a cage.
The one we would use for gym class?
Yeah.
To go to like the park or whatever.
And you would want to go way in the back because you'd hit a bump going there and just get sent into the ceiling.
Or what you would do is you'd go way in the back and then you'd like kind of pull your pants down a little bit. So then whoever's following you, you're just mooning them the whole time. The teacher did not like that.
No, not at all. Or did he didn't really care either that much.
This is also the same gym teacher that if you went into the bathroom in the boys' locker room.
I feel like there had to have been like a staff bathroom that he could have used.
Yeah, he would just be taking a fucking greasy old dump
right next to you
and just have a full-on conversation with you. Good time.
Yeah, classic.
All right. Well, if a dog is attacking a smaller dog, are you putting your finger in the ass? I'm going to go with no. But it's totally your choice. But moving on.
So you know the Wade Boggs story, right?
I'm kind of familiar with it.
So essentially,
pretty much based on It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. So
holy shit, Matt!
It's a good actual.
Who's that from?
The flight attendant that was on the flight. So the story is Wade Boggs says he drank 100 beers, then ate a chicken, then hit like 5 home runs.
Actually, 100.
Yeah, he was telling everyone he drank 100 beers. And everyone pretty much believed him or just didn't come out and say it. But one of the flight attendants came out with this statement, and I thought it was so good that I'm going to read part of it.
Okay.
For decades, baseball lore has echoed with tales of Wade Boggs guzzling 107 beers in a single day, 73 of which legend claims were consumed on a single cross-country flight from Boston to L.A. in 1994.
He played for the Red Sox?
Yep. Now, the flight attendants who are actually on the flight have come forward to clear the air on what really took place. So the plane takes off, and they immediately start doing the usual, cracking beers, dealing cards, lots of macho backslapping. What followed was not the heroic odyssey we've all been led to believe, but rather the slow embarrassing implosion of a grown man trying to impress his coworkers with a level of drinking no one asked for. Around what I guess was beer 9, Boggs stands up all wobbly, shirt already off for some reason, and slurs, "Cheers to number 60," before attempting to crush a half-full Miller Lite on his forehead. Only it doesn't crush, so he just keeps smashing it against his face like he's headbutting a soup can. Eventually, the beer explodes and he starts bleeding from his head, likely severely concussed. A nearby rookie, likely concerned for what was clearly a broken man with a horrendous drinking problem, ended up catching the shrapnel. Boggs turned to the other players, shouted, "To the legends," and projectile vomited directly onto this rookie's lap.
Got you good.
By hour 3, the bathroom looked like a Jackson Pollock piece composed entirely of shame and gastrointestinal regret. There were handprints on the mirrors, mustache hair in the sink, and at one point someone said it smelt like my Uncle Doug's house after we found him that one weekend. We had to rope off the bathroom for the remainder of the flight. Welp, cheers to 107 anyways. I could have hit 200 if I wanted, at least, he said. He toasted no one and started drinking again. I awkwardly stood up and quietly walked away, but I swear I could hear someone crying behind me. I thought that was just fantastic.
Cheers to the legend. Just I always think of that scene in Scary Movie where they're making fun of 8 Mile, and he's
So
about to
good.
go into the rap battle, and runs into the toilet because he's got to puke, and the black guy's in there on his phone. He's just like, "What the fuck?" Oh, sorry.
Or is it I Love You Man when they're playing poker and then he chugs a beer and he's like, "In your face, in your fall."
Just projectile vomits all over him.
To the legends.
That's a level of rookie hazing that has never been experienced before.
Or will never be experienced again.
Apparently not. Good old Wade Boggs. I love that episode of It's Always Sunny.
Oh, it's great. That's what probably in my top 10 Always Sunny episodes.
I love when they get so drunk they start calling him Boss Hog. I call people Boss Hog all the time. I love it.
Or the the one where he's like, "Is anyone a doctor aboard?" And Frank stands up, just has all of his beers written down. He drinks. He's like, "Mantis Toboggan, MD." Oh, it's such a good episode.
Oh, so ridiculous.
One of the clips came up from an Always Sunny episode where Dennis is trying to divorce his wife with the snaggletooth. But then he finds out she got fake cans, so he doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. But then the last thing, I know we love our maps on here, so
I'm trying to, because you sent me one in the message and I can't even what if I do this? Is this? Oh, okay.
So it's a map of what every state is best known for.
I just saw North Dakota.
North Dakota has maybe one of the more flattering ones. We are the home of the biggest penises.
Thank you.
Obviously, they must have skipped over mine when they were doing that sort of measurement, but Wyoming's best known for having the lowest rate of syphilis, so congratulations.
Colorado's least obese, which is good.
I don't know how they measure this, but Nebraska has the most homes with indoor plumbing.
Hell yeah. What else do we got? Georgia, top peanut producer.
Look at Kentucky's. It is preposterously large.
Highest graduation rate for economically disadvantaged students.
That's because the entire state is economically disadvantaged.
What's this state? Highest home ownership rate.
West Virginia, that's because homes are $6.
This is Pennsylvania. Most revenue from casinos. What is this, Ohio? right?
Most libraries
That's
for
Iowa. Wait, no, that's Iowa.
Ohio.
I'm fucking terrible. We have a map here. That doesn't say the name of the state.
Yeah. Well, that's Iowa with the lowest divorce rate.
Okay, Iowa. This is Illinois.
Oh, I thought Kansas.
It's Indiana. But what's that one? Ohio?
Yeah, that one's Ohio.
And this is Indiana?
Yep.
And that's Michigan.
Yep.
Wisconsin. Wow, Wisconsin, biggest cheese producer.
Colorado, least obese. That's pretty cool.
Oh, California, most breastfed babies.
I gotta go to
Yeah,
California.
looks like we gotta head down south.
Um,
Why is New Mexico best at electing presidents? What does that mean? Aren't we all the best at that?
no, I think it's because like every presidential election, whoever's won New Mexico has won the presidential election.
Gotcha. What is this? Missouri? Most dog owners, so
I was thinking about moving to Vermont, where fewest poor people. That's what they're known for.
New York highest salaries. Cool.
Yeah, no shit, because it costs $1 million to live there. Tennessee is just boasting the largest walleye ever caught.
Apparently in Hawaii, hitting deer while driving is it's not a common thing.
Least likely to
Okay,
collide.
yeah. I read that wrong.
I think it's because there are no deer on Hawaii.
Alaska, most pilots per capita. So it's like, well, you do have to have a...
Yeah, you can only get to the capital city by ship or plane, so you do the math.
Florida, most 4-year-olds in preschools. I feel like we could have done better there.
Yeah, like Florida could have been like,
Like the most
Most-
hot blondes.
yeah, most fake boobs per
Yeah,
capita.
Yeah. Most vanity license plates.
Yeah, Virginia's doing well for themselves. I love how Maryland is fewest accidental deaths.
Maryland.
It's just to the right of,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it cuts off so you can't see some of them.
Interesting.
When I first read this, I thought Kansas was most teenage vigilantes.
It's volunteers.
Yeah, well, they're kind of the same thing.
And then what? Wait, is this Missouri?
Missouri is the most best
What's the
trails,
state?
and then Arkansas is most dog owners.
Okay, my bad. Missouri is the best trails. I find that hard to believe.
Well, and then I don't get the most sleep per night in Mississippi because most people in Mississippi are on meth, so I don't think they sleep at all during the night.
Oh.
And then it turns out most concealed carry license in Louisiana. Didn't see that one coming. I do like Michigan's having the most.
Matt, this is Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
So this is Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi,
Yep.
Louisiana, Tennessee.
Largest walleye.
Never caught. Interesting. Well,
What was like? Oh yeah, Michigan has the most lighthouses, which would be impressive if every ship didn't have lights on it.
no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought that was a fun map, especially because North Dakota has the biggest penis.
Liar! Yeah, I'm honestly flattered, but I'll tell you. It's definitely true. Most definitely true. And that concludes our show.
Yeah.
All right, how can everybody get more involved and follow, check out No Brains, No Headache?
You can follow us on all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can watch the entire show there. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review wherever you get your podcasts. Also subscribe on YouTube. Helps us grow those numbies a little bit. And then, yeah, I'll be in Chicago next week. So
Oh, yeah, Matt's headed to Chicago.
next week I'll have a breakdown of what I did at Wrigley. Plot twist. Probably just going to drink a shitload of beer.
Yeah, going with Birdie Mac.
Yep.
You guys are going to have a good time. I'm actually excited for you guys to leave for a weekend because I just need a weekend to reset.
That's fair.
Yeah. Turns out I turned to my own vices and I just can't say no. But upcoming events, we got a few things for you guys. So if you want to come support No Brains, No Headache, come hang out with us. These aren't all traditional comedy shows, but Wednesday, May 14th at 8:30 a.m. over at Dakota Stage Theater. Matt and I will be presenting at 1 Million Cups. Now, we presented there in the past about 18 months ago, but we're back again for an update on what we've been up to because we're coming up on a 5-year anniversary. And we are celebrating that 5-year anniversary on Saturday, May 17th at Stadium Sports Bar. More details to come on that. But that's the day we're going to celebrate our 5 years. It technically is May 20th, but that is a Tuesday. Figured people don't want to go out to the bars on a Tuesday. I mean, we can.
Yeah, it's on the table.
But we'll get details on that. We're going to do a lot of giveaways. We want to give back to everybody who supports us and just get together and have a good time, break some bread, have some beers. So we're going to give away T-shirts, stickers. Matt's going to be giving away life advice. And I have a few more tricks up my sleeve, but I just got to get that okayed with some other people. Let's see. Friday, July 11th, I got asked to do a show in Minot at the Drop Zone. So shout out, I'll tell my Minot peeps I'll be up there. Come see me. We're going to do a couple lake shows this summer. Haven't really dialed in that. And then Saturday, September 13th, we'll be at the Bell Mayhoos. More details to come on that. But that's kind of what we got going on. Wednesday, May 14th, 8:30 a.m. Saturday, May 17th in the afternoon sometime are our next two events. So if you want to come support No Brains, No Headache, that is where we will be. And I think that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for listening. Up next, episode 246.
You're watching Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Tits McGee is on vacation.
And I'm Tits